Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh and the dogs are fighting behind me. It's kind of cool. They're playing and fighting. Mostly fighting, but playing too. They're cute. She's getting really big. Anyway, thanks for being here today. We're talking about Matt and Abby, the podcast that recently went viral. They go viral. And I wonder if they're mad about the amount of times they go viral, because every time they go viral, it's always about because Matt's being a dickhead. That's literally the reason they go viral. So let's talk about it. We don't deserve dogs. They're so good. These two are just full of beans right now. Gus is almost 6. I think he's 6 this year. And he still acts like a puppy. Like, he's still got high energy. He's got good vertical. He can jump. This dog is just like... And this dog can't even tire him out. And I think the puppy gets tired out more than Gus does. But they'll just wrestle and have some fun. But anyway, so this Matt and Abby, I have just seen clips of it. They've gone viral again on TikTok and all over the place, on the YouTube, everywhere else. Because Matt's upset. Like, there's been articles written about this. Because Matt's upset about the fact that his birthday lands on Father's Day. Like, what? All right. Doing a video. You guys know that I'm a YouTuber? Don't you guys know things? They don't care. Anyway, so, again, the amount of times they go viral is actually pretty high, considering that they're kind of boring, lame-ass weirdos, right? But every time they go viral, because Matt releases a song where he's like, my life sucks, it's so hard, if I could go back, I would... Or he'll say something about their marriage, or he'll, I don't know, say the quiet part out loud, or he'll say, like, his intrusive thoughts will come out, and he'll just put it on the podcast, because I think, honestly... it's true what he's saying, but also true that he knows he's going to go viral for doing this. And he goes viral for being the villain, not the good guy, ever. Matt so badly wants to be that, where women are like, you're just a good husband, I just wish my husband was like you. But all the women, all the comments in their videos are like, what? I'm so glad my husband's not you. Look at these comments. 1.1 thousand downvotes for 4.2 thousand upvotes. For them, that's a pretty big ratio. That's a bad ratio. Okay, that is a bad ratio.
This year,
Father's Day, it's always in June, and it's like
last
always
year
around.
was June 18th, which is Matt's.
We're gonna get to that, but he needs to touch grass. I don't really like that comment because it's on the internet long, but it's really, really, really good here. Roll in it. Maybe have a bite or two. Literally, is he okay? Is Matt a baby? Who still cares about birthdays? I'm going to allude to that. I'm going to say it right now. Okay? If you're over 30 and you're a dad, just stop. Okay? Birthdays are for women and children after the age of 30 for dudes. And, like, people are like, well, and you're like, oh, I don't want to, like, add to, like, you know, toxic masculinity or whatever. Like, oh, dude shouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, okay, relax. Just get dad the thing he needs from mom. And just get the cake for the kids. Dads don't care. We buy what we want throughout the year. We don't care about Christmas. We don't care about our birthday. We honestly just love when it's your turn. We can give you gifts and shower you with things. And I'm not speaking for all dads, but I'm saying for the majority, if you ask any dad well into his 30s or early 40s, they're going to be like, I don't give a crap about my birthday. That's a real weird thing for dudes to be worried about, their birthday. Oh man, let him talk. She keeps talking over him. Is this real? Break up. This is wild. This actually has me fuming. We decided it means Matt threw a fit. All right, let's get to this video.
In therapy, we were on the same page, but then as soon as I looked at houses, you were like, no, this is not what we talked about.
Most people don't buy a house and then 2 years later move.
We're not going to move unless
Lots of people do that.
we find the perfect house. So of course I'm going to start looking.
I just know that you are a very fast decision maker.
And aren't you thankful for that? Because I decided to marry you.
People were literally...
If I said that out loud on this channel, like what she just said, and that attitude she did, like let's reverse the roles, or he said it, what would happen? Could you imagine my hate thread exploding? Oh my gosh, Josh absolutely abuses what? Like, if I ever said something like that, the double standards today are pissing me off, okay? Oh, and I'm going to give you an update on the bear versus man thing. Interesting enough, in my video, which I think it was the latest Kira video, I mean, obviously I got it wrong because I was looking at it from a different perspective, but it's very rare because I said, you know, I took the bear versus man thing and said, you know, why would you choose a bear? A bear will kill you. And people were like, and you know, absolutely correct, because man, I didn't know I would get that type of response from this, but I was looking at it from the wrong way. I was looking at it from I guess the mansplaining way of like, I just want to survive. But women are like, the amount of comments I got on this, and I have to correct myself because it's actually quite crazy as a dad of a daughter that this is the world you're going to, and you can't ignore it. I don't care everybody out there who's sitting there who are like, oh, I can't believe women choose the bear, and it's become this meme and everything else, and I even make fun of it and stuff like that. I get that. But now I'm starting to look at it, and I'm like, oh my God, is this the world my daughter has to enter into, where she honestly believes that everywhere she goes, if she goes with a dude somewhere or like is lost somewhere or whatever, she's scared of men? Because it's exactly what happened in the comment section here. And I was like wrong again. I'm looking at it from the perspective of survival. And they're like, the amount of women in my comments are like, I would rather we at least know the bear will just maul us and we're dead. They won't like hurt us after or try to, you know, do things to our body after. Like, these are the things that go through your head because these are lived experience of women. So I got to apologize. You're damn right. I was wrong in this. I was looking at it from a different perspective for sure. And this comment was really, really important by Rachel Googe. Rachel Googe. And I pinned the comment too because it was such an important comment. As a woman who's been taken advantage of by a man, well, more than one man, I think the point of the argument is that the bear would attack you, most likely kill you, and as a woman, we are less afraid of that than being alone with the man in the woods. The things men do to women are scarier to women than being attacked by a bear. Also, if you're attacked by a bear, no one questions it. No one asks what you're wearing or how much you had to drink, or if you said no, or if you're dating the bear, or what did you do to make the bear do it, or that bear's cousin went to school with the bear and that the bear would never do that. It's the principle. It's not about surviving or having a fighting chance against the bear. It's about the outcome. The experience and the way people would actually believe you is far less terrifying if it were a bear, not a man. I think it's harder when you've been through experiences of being taken advantage of by men. You would never have to fight or be scared that no one will believe you if you were attacked by a bear, but everyday victims aren't believed when they're attacked by a man. I pinned that comment, got 663 likes, and I said, very good points here. Consider me educated better on this. This is a sentiment dudes can't understand because we've never had this lived experience. Not all, like, I mean, some maybe have, but very, very, very rarely. Kind of eye-opening, to be honest. This sucks for my daughter. And like, there's a couple people in there being like, oh, you're being oversensitive. It's definitely, you want to choose the bear and all that kind of stuff. But like, overwhelming majority of women in my comments, especially a lot of people that I've seen tons of comments for who've been around for a long time, are like saying the same thing. And let me just say, damn, I'm sorry. That sucks for you. And that's your lived experience. And I really, really hate that for you. I honestly do. And I understand now more after reading all these comments, why you choose the bear. And that sucks. And I hope that I can be a man that isn't like that. I make the point, and maybe it's a Canadian thing. I thought it was a Canadian thing that like, if I'm ever walking at night, which is, I mean, has been years since I'm just walking down the street at night. It's never like, I don't do that. When I was younger, I would even make the point, like if there was like a woman or something like that walking alone at night or at a bus stop or whatever, I would make a point to either like make it known or walk past really fast or actually change sides of the streets. I don't want to make someone feel uncomfortable. So again, I didn't realize that sometimes even if I'm just walking or doing something, or if I'm in the same building and there's no one else there except for women, stuff like that, that's what you guys think. And that's absolutely the worst. So I just want to say, damn, that really, really, really sucks. And I'm sorry. That's your lived experience. I don't know how this gets fixed. I don't know. That your lived reality is that you would choose a bear over men because of the other reasons. And I'm sorry that I missed the point on it. So all that to say, Matt's definitely a weirdo.
That they thought you had a boob job.
When?
Your boobs were so big from breastfeeding.
Where are they at now, people? Because the milk factory is officially closed.
Oh, the teeth. The teeth.
We've decided as a family that we are not celebrating Father's Day this year.
That is so sad.
Don't even say Happy Father's Day to Matt this
Don't
year
even
on the 16th.
think about it.
Matt, you're a dick.
How do you feel that we just got out our very last frozen bag of breast milk to give to our son?
Sad.
The stash is gone, which is insane because you had the mother load of milk when we started this journey.
I know. I have a problem. Like when I first had a baby, I did everything that the lactation people say to do to relieve it in some way. That's all through the Haka. It's not like I'm doing additional pumps.
Yeah.
And I had like, how many ounces
Boob
do you have
milk.
in the freeze?
Oh
Look how
gosh.
big she's
Probably
got.
close to 2,000.
Yeah, you had so much milk.
Big girl.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was like
She's a
we
big girl.
just went to a farm and gathered a bunch of
Big
cow
girl.
milk and just brought it home and
Whoa,
froze it.
think about how big my
Those boobies
udders
were.
got.
Boobs.
They were pretty big. They were.
So-
This is like, I know this is like light banter and it doesn't really bother me, but you just gotta like think for a minute when your kids go to school.
Yeah. It's honestly insane. Like when I see photos auto-generate on my phone, I'm like, holy frick! Like I forgot they got to be that size.
Do you feel sad?
Hey, it was a fun time. It was a fun party. You know,
But the party's over, so F off.
I love them now. They're so.
Cue Abby going to get breast augmentation because she got her teeth did. You think that the things that Matt projects on her aren't going to have effect on her? They absolutely are. Okay? He probably once said something about her teeth, like, and then forgot that he said it, and then one day she just stuck with her, and then when they had the money, she's like, I'm just going to get my teeth did. And she didn't need to. Absolutely. Everybody knows that the balance here is absolutely insane. Generally, when it comes to family vloggers, and I go, no, they're not family vloggers anymore. I'm just making fun of them because they're terrible influencers. It's generally when it comes to the family vlogging world, a lot of people get mad at me because I target the women inside those families. But it's generally a matriarchal thing that happens. These women wear the pants. They are the leaders. They are the instigators. They're the ones who do the pranks. Generally. Not all the time, but the majority of them. In this case, though, Matt's the dingleberry. Let's be real. And Abby is like the one who would have been very happy not to have lived this type of life. Probably likes the money and the ability to do what they want with it, but would have been fine had they not made millions of dollars giving away every little detail of their lives.
Great.
Imagine I had those, but with like the slimmed down body I have now.
Yeah.
It would have just been overwhelming. It would have been. It would probably created so many issues.
Like what? What?
Bad posture for one.
People
That's not what she's saying.
were literally saying that they thought you had a boob job. Like everybody on the people were.
I thought you don't read your comments.
I don't understand why people on the internet always have to comment on other people's bodies, but people literally thought that you had a boob job.
You comment on her body all the time. I mean, it's your wife, but what do you mean? I don't understand how the internet. You guys are the one talking about it. Why did people talk about my wife's body while I talk about my wife's body for 20 minutes?
When your boobs were so big from breastfeeding.
Where are they at now, people? That think that I
So funny.
They're real quiet. Because the milk factory is officially closed.
He's fake laughing. Wear some socks.
Gone dry. It's so sad though too. It's like I don't even think I could. Here's the thing. The one reason I feel somewhat peace about ending breastfeeding is because I feel like I really gave it my all. And if I was still producing enough milk, I probably would still be out there at my pump still. You know what I mean?
When is your last day? Do you have an official day in the calendar?
I'm like trying to make it to, he's 9 months.
Oh, so you have 4 more days.
Yeah, but I think I might run out of milk in the meantime.
You're worried.
You just pump it? You don't run out if you keep pumping, right? I'm not wrong about that. Like if you continuously pump, you can have milk forever as long as it's being pumped, right? Like it doesn't just run out, right? Right?
You won't be able to pump?
I'm pumping barely nothing.
Have you
I'm pumping barely nothing. That's means you're pumping a lot. That's a double negative. That's weird.
looked into like a certain formula that you want to use for the?
I've been talking around.
This is boring. Let's get to 20. Oh my gosh, they talk about breastfeeding until 11 minutes. 11 minutes. And then they go, our toddler is a ring bearer. No one cares. And then 20. Oh my gosh, their toddler's a ring bearer for like 20 minutes. There's no way that they talk about that for no way.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
I saw this TikTok a couple months back, and it was somebody who decided to have flower boys instead of a flower girl.
I'll never ever get over the fact that he said library. Okay? Library books. Library in a song. That will live on forever.
Ew.
Just go back and fix that one word, Matt. Please. It's not like you have a CD pressed, right? If it's a streaming song, you can go fix the song, re-upload it. Say library. Say it!
But no, it wasn't cute. It was funny because it was like grown men, and they had a fanny pack with like rose petals
Grown
in it,
men.
and they walked down with like the most. I don't know. It was like
Okay,
hip
so
hop.
You're one's actually unflavored. So if you're
because it's an ad.
Facebook reel the other day. You scroll on Facebook reels.
I try not to.
My brother does. He sent me a Facebook reel the other day.
Oh no.
I thought that was kind of funny.
You're gonna have to give him
25-29. Should be kids allowed to be at weddings?
Nah. We'd be doing so.
Here's the question. Now this is going to be a debate. Should kids be allowed at weddings? I say heck yeah. Kids should be a big part. That's a family celebration. I've seen a lot of like bridezillas on Reddit and be like, I don't want kids at my weddings. Like, kids at your wedding? What a loser. I'm sorry those people have been like, if you want to just have a big old drink and party, there's two ways you can do this, okay? Let kids come to the wedding for the first half, get the candy bar, get some games with kids, some balloon animals, boom. Buy anybody after dinner that has children. Buy. Because now we're going to party. Because you could do both. You know that, right? I understand not wanting kids there and like, there's got to be a time where you're like, hey, kids got to go home to bed and like, get or grab a babysitter. There's lots you could do. You could hire a few babysitters and then rent a room for the kids to go watch movies and all that kind of stuff so that adults can party. But I think it could be half and half. I don't think kids should also be there partying with adults at an open bar event while adults are getting hammered. I also don't think that. But that's my take on it. I think kids should be allowed at weddings. It's just as fun for them.
Oh.
And people who are like so adamantly against children at weddings, I'm like, you okay? There's lots of people who have kids. Like, if you're not going to invite me, or like if you're going to invite me, but not like your family can't come, I'm like, well, I'm not going to go. Okay, well, no thanks. Like, my kids are coming. Like, you want me to come to your wedding? I could understand if it's like a party at the end. I understand that. And I'm not going to that party anyway. So, no thanks if you don't invite kids.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Doing all that.
And I could even say the dinner portion of the whole thing, I could even understand saying, well, it's a little expensive if everybody's bringing their kids. I get that. Even if you say, like, anybody can come, and then when it's the ceremony part, or not the ceremony, the after party, whatever, no kids there. Because I can understand they're like, oh, I don't want to pay for your kid's dinner, even though it's always chicken fingers, whatever, you know. I say this from experience. I've done so many weddings, and so many people have done it really cool with kids, and like the kids had such a great time, and they really, really thought it out, and those parents were super appreciative. And I mean, the gifts are even bigger when you invite parents, because they know what you need. Okay, I'm just saying, they know what you need.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, we have some exciting ones coming up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Back on the wedding topic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about people bringing kids to weddings?
I welcome it with open arms.
Really?
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a big controversy because a lot of people say that it is extremely disrespectful to bring children
Who says that?
to a wedding.
What?
Like saying
If they're not invited, it's disrespectful. I understand that. But again, I wouldn't be going to a wedding if you didn't invite my kids because they're my family. It's disrespectful to go somewhere where to bring uninvited guests, yes, but not disrespectful to bring kids if it's like, bring your kids.
You can't bring your child on a plane.
There's
That's
a whole
so
debate
stupid.
because they're like, it's your one day. You don't need like kids ruining it. And
I've shot 50, maybe more weddings and I've been to many more. I've never been to a wedding where a kid ruined a wedding. Ever. Never once have I ever seen a kid ruin a wedding. Have you? Is it because they cried for 2 seconds or something, or some kid got hurt, or what? That's so stupid.
like,
Kids are the stars of the show. Kids break dance in the middle of the dance floor, and it's so much fun. It makes the wedding better. And you can see the old people on the dance floor who are near the end of their life, and you get to see the kids who are...
To see old people who are basically dead dancing. It's really cool.
at the beginning of their life, and it's just this beautiful picture of what life is.
Matt, you always give me existential crises.
Sorry.
Why is that an existential crisis, you dumbass?
The end of their life, the beginning of their life. No, like people literally will say like on their wedding invites, they're like, you cannot bring, like children are absolutely not allowed.
That's actually a thing.
Yeah, well, that's okay, fine. If that's the expectation, cool. Then your expectation is to be like, well, then I'm not going to your wedding. And that's your choice to make. And you could just be like, thanks, but no thanks. Right? You don't have to make a big deal out of it either. You have to be like, well, hell, I'm not going on Facebook and making a big post about it or whatever. Just be like, hey, I'm just not going. No thanks. Thanks for the invite, but we appreciate it. We will not be going. Just because it's really hard to get a babysitter. And babysitter's like $40 an hour. Okay? So you want to go to a wedding? That's like an all-day event generally. Like let's say 3 o'clock roughly to like 11 p.m. $40 an hour, depending how many kids you have. Alexa, what's 8 times 40?
8 times 40 is 320.
So not only do we have to get you a really nice gift, right? Got to get dressed up, got to get out there wherever it is. I also need to spend $320 on a babysitter plus tip plus a pizza for the kids and everything else. Sorry. I mean, if you're really close to me, and I get the people that I would go to their weddings because I hate weddings. The people that I am that close with would not exclude my children anyway. So I don't know what kind of people you have in your life, but don't befriend those people.
No way. I mean, I guess people could do an adults-only wedding. I guess that could be a thing. But that's kind of sad. I think it's sweet to have kids at the wedding. We invited the kids that we used to babysit in college to our wedding, and they tore up the dance floor.
Okay, those wouldn't mean children anymore?
So cute.
I know. Yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. It's like, I understand that if you're trying to have like a black tie formal wedding, like kids are not going to be able to...
Why do you want that? Weddings. Stop with the crazy wedding things.
Keep that...
Weddings!
Same normal standard.
Like normalized barbecue backyard gatherings. Where it's just a bunch of family getting together, having a good time, playing a little bocce ball, little couple of beers, barbecue. Someone gets married, the family get a little tent, put some Christmas lights up, twinkle lights, get a cheap DJ. Like this whole spend $150,000 on a wedding to what? To outshine people? To be like, look at me? Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I had an expensive wedding. Like, but it was more of a family affair. Obviously, we did it at a hotel and stuff. But man, if I could go back, I would spend all that money on a house. Jeez.
You know, they might need chicken nuggets, and then they might make a mess. They might be loud.
Yeah.
So that's what you're paying for the venue for. They clean up for you.
But on the flip side of that, is it about how elegant and classy your wedding could possibly be, or is it about having the people there that mean so much to you, and like maybe
that's what a wedding should be about.
You're putting them in a really tough position by having that people are traveling into your wedding, they have kids, they don't want to leave their kids for the whole days that they're gone, but they also don't want to find random childcare in a place that they don't live. You're kind of
She's convinced herself, I think.
Putting people with kids in a tough position.
Yep.
Yeah.
So don't go. Be like, I love you, and I'm happy for your wedding. Here's a $20 gift card for Target, but we're not coming.
Maybe they might not want to come at all because it's just too difficult to figure out childcare that they trust. So then I'm like, is it really worth it then at that point to put people in that position? So I don't know. I see both sides.
Yeah, I mean...
You didn't present a good side of the other way, though. You just said, if someone wants a formal wedding. That's all you said for the other side. So you didn't present both sides. If you do care about a wedding like that, right? And generally people who don't have kids who don't want kids at a wedding. And I understand that, okay? I can even say, I don't want kids because, they think it's going to ruin, it's people who just don't like kids. There's lots of people, and there's nothing wrong with not liking kids. You're weird. I think you're a little bit weird, but there's nothing wrong if you had bad experiences, and I understand that, okay? But, kids are cool sometimes, okay? Not all the time, but... She didn't present the other side either.
At the end of the day, it's your wedding. You can decide what you want to do. So I guess if you want to let people...
Where did you get this shirt? Where do you even get a shirt like that?
Know in advance that it's adults only, I guess that would be okay. But I think
Other rules that have been around weddings, no one can wear white because...
I understand that.
See, I get that one.
I feel like that's kind of understood.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get that. I personally wouldn't have really cared. I mean, I was wearing a
Yeah, you would.
ball gown. I was going to stand out as the bride no matter what. It's hard.
Okay. These people are going to confuse you at your wedding that you're the bride. Which one's the bride? I don't know. You were invited here. You don't know who the bride is?
Because it's like you're allowed
I guess if you're the date of somebody or something, you're like, who's the bride? That's a dude prop.
Make your own decisions. It's your wedding, whatever. But I feel like people are getting a little demanding.
Should we talk about the house?
The what?
Do you want to bring this conversation up? We kind of got into a slight argument last time we had this conversation.
Yeah, so this seems like a great place. Let's just publicly argue about it.
Okay, we're going to publicly argue for you guys now, so welcome back to the show.
Okay. No, I don't want to argue. I want to find a common ground.
What are they talking about? Timing at 28 minutes?
You give your part.
No, I was thinking that you should start.
Okay, I'll start.
You start. Talk to me about why you want to move and sell our house and buy a new one.
Okay, this timestamp's been way off. Because this is, Abby wants to move 34 minutes is when our work may not last forever. They've got it all wrong.
I am a mother that is trying to look far into the future for my children and the lives that I want them to have as they grow up. It's a very formative time for them.
That's good.
And I want them to be surrounded by their peers. I want them to be surrounded by...
Are they not surrounded by their peers here? What?
Opportunities for them to just find what they're passionate about and just get involved. I want to be in an area that I feel very safe. While we want to homeschool our kids when they're...
Are they... What... You know they probably live in like a little gated community with micro mansions everywhere right now, right? You know that's probably where they live now.
Young. The fact is that by the time they get to middle school and high school, I see them being involved in public schools.
Yeah.
And I want there to be good public schools for them to attend. I don't want to put them in private school. And...
If you can afford it, put your kid in private school. If you can afford it, homeschool them or get like... Go back to the old day. Like a bunch of families get together, hire a teacher, get a one-room schoolhouse, and you get in there and you get a good education. That's kind of where we're headed. I would love to be able to do that. Like, you can homeschool, you can hire teachers. Like, I'm thinking, why does a bunch of families get together, hire a couple of teachers, pay those teachers very well, very handsomely, so you get talented teachers to teach those children, especially up until like grade 7, 8, before they reach high school maybe, and then high school is probably a little bit different because you got to start prepping for college and all that kind of stuff. But like, what's stopping people from doing that? Money, obviously. But if you have the money, instead of private school too, which institutionalized and sometimes can be, you know, you have to pay this tuition and they can still be sneaking weird things into your kids' curriculums. Instead, again, just hire a good teacher, get about 10 families involved. 10, and that can be up to 20 children. You have one teacher or two teachers teaching separate things. Man, that sounds like a good idea. Get really great teachers.
In general, I want to be in a place that I feel safe to go to the grocery store.
Where do they live? Detroit?
Even in the evening by myself. I want to be
Chicago? You live in Chicago? LA? Where do you live?
Restaurants for us to go on fun dates and not have to drive super far. So, should I continue to add my list reasons why? Oh!
All you had to say, though, if your children's education is most important and a safe community for your children are more important, you don't need any other excuses. That's it. Matt should be like, you're right. That's all you need. If you're in a place where it's not safe for your children, that's the only excuse you need to move as far as I'm concerned. Since moving to the country and like obviously having different country schools and it's like not citywide schools, like we came from Waterloo, which is Waterloo Regional District School Board, which is the wokest school board. I think it's like top 3 wokest school boards in all of Canada with the ideologies and everything else that they're trying to cram to everybody's throat and like not letting parents talk or not informing parents of anything. And I'm not just talking about the main crazy identity issues. Like I'm talking about every type of issue everywhere. They're just so bad because they've been infiltrated by a bunch of douchebags. And more often than not, those people causing the most problems on those school boards, they don't even have kids. And if they do, they don't have kids in that school board. Especially in Ottawa Carleton District School Board, this lady called Millie Kaplan-Mirth. She's a doctor who doesn't even live in Ottawa, as far as I'm aware. I think she lives in like Quebec. Okay, and she like she wants kids masked 24 hours a day, even when they sleep. And she's been fighting for it. And she's like a big player on the Ottawa Carleton District. She's the most hated person on the whole district school board. And like, it's just always fighting. And at the center of it all are our kids. And they don't seem to give a shit about anybody. So that's the only excuse you need. If you're in a woke, crazy school board, do yourself a favor, get your kids out of that.
I also see my parents living with us long term, which I'm kind of surprised about. Wait, you're actually
I'm kidding.
He's like, what? He's not kidding. He's like, wait, what?
I'm like, wait, we actually talked about this.
Why would you want to live with your parents? But like, if you have the money that Matt and Abby have, build them go get a piece of land, okay? Build them a generational living quarters. Again, I'm telling you the type of money that these people have, it's millions of dollars, okay? They make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, okay? They could literally go buy a 20-acre, 100, 200-acre property and just generational living the crap out of it. I'd love to do that too, to be honest. I'd love to do that. Okay, it's just I don't have that kind of money. But if I had that kind of money, better believe I'd be building a generational plot of land, which like houses for sisters and brothers and grandparents and everybody else who wants. I would absolutely do that, as long as it's big enough that you're far enough away. You know what I'm saying? Just like on the other side of the property, there's like 2 kilometers or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I do. I wouldn't want to live in the same house. Like, even if you do get along and they're sweet and they're amazing, and it sounds like they are, still, can't do loud things. You know what I mean?
Live, off camera, and in private. And I want them to have a place where they feel like they can have their own space within the house that we don't need to have our stuff bleed into.
Or give them their own house.
And I want to make it comfortable for them in the long term. And that's some of my reasons.
So
that's all you need. I agree.
So, like, here's my thing. If we just had a money tree, I would 1 million. Like, I'd be like, yeah, let's move tomorrow. Let's sell our house. Let's move tomorrow. If we just had a money tree in the back.
You do have a money tree in your backyard, you darned liars. Do you want to know what these people make? Let me just give you a little example. Okay, I don't know why I said that. That was stupid. Example. The Unplanned Podcast, which is what we're watching right now, okay? It has 668,000 subscribers, and over its lifetime has made estimated revenue, and you got to double this number, okay? It's generally double. They've made close to $700,000 just on this channel. 372 million views. That actually seems pretty low there, considering. They haven't had much growth as far as subscribers is concerned, have they? Yeah, they're growing. They're growing really fast. They make a lot of money just on this podcast, okay? And this is Mr. Beast's thing. I love this. Matt and Abby. And on their main channel, Matt and Abby, they've got 6.9 million subscribers, okay? To the tune of, they've made, again, double that. Over, I'm saying 2 million more. And don't forget, that has nothing to do with TikTok, Instagram, or any of the ad reads that they do in their channel. Because every show they have has an ad read on it, which they likely get paid between $10,000 and $20,000 for. So these people have millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. So when they sit here and try to tell you that they don't have money, don't listen to them, okay? They have more money than most people would ever have in their lifetimes.
Backyard. And it's just like, money's not an issue because homes are very expensive. Like, especially in today's economy, like,
move somewhere where they're not. Florida, Texas. Again, if I had the kind of money that they had, nothing would stop me from moving to like Anna Maria Island or like somewhere in Florida with a big piece of land. So if it's not going to be near a beach, I want to be on a big ass piece of land, again, for generational living. I want a horse, a tiny horse. Okay? Little Sebastian. That's what I want. A couple of pigs, some donkeys, an alpaca, llama, chickens, just a little hobby farm. I would be so happy. Who have I become? I was literally gardening the other day. I garden now. I love cutting grass. I wear dad hats. I've become someone when I was walking around Manhattan, telling myself, when I was young, I would have died and been so happy to live in downtown city. I'd live downtown Manhattan, no problem. I walked around with Mark, and I'm like, I would never in a million years ever. I've changed so much from the point when I was young. I would never in a million years ever want to raise a family there, first of all, but ever be there. It's too many people and it smells like weed and piss. First of all. Second of all, it's too tight. It's too expensive. For the same price of a 1-bedroom apartment in Manhattan, you can literally buy a ranch in Texas. Probably with the animals and the staff. Not even kidding. Okay? Why would you not want to live where the fresh air is abundant? Even if it smells like poo a little bit. Why would you not want that? Who wouldn't want that?
Homes are expensive. The real estate in Arizona is not nearly as bad as California, not nearly as bad as Hawaii, where we used to live. But
so, is those the only places you could go?
It's still pricey.
Where in the States can you go where you get a touch of winter? Like here's a little bit of winter near Christmas. Blah, and then it's nice. Where is that? Does that exist? And if it exists, is it expensive? And what are your taxes like? Because I would like to live in a place where it's just like a touch of winter. It's like winter comes by and says, hey, and then just drives on. Like that meme you see I love this meme where they're like getting up in the middle of the night and their kids are coming up the stairs and it's that song and it's like the car driving by. I forget the name of it, but it's so funny. But where is the winter? Can you just like, you can hear it just passing over a little bit? Because I still like a touch of winter. Because I also don't want to be in a place where the swass is abundant all the time. Okay, I don't want swass 365 days a year. Okay, but I'd like a little swass and a little bit of bite in the fall. You know what I'm saying? Where does that place exist? I want to be there.
Especially if you want to buy a house that has enough room for a guest bedroom, an office, our
You have no friends.
children's bedrooms, your parents live with us. So we're not talking about just like
You need like a 7-bedroom house with like 5 bathrooms.
A 2-bedroom house. Like we're talking about a 5-bedroom, honestly, is
7.
what we're talking about.
7.
And so, yeah, I mean, we live in an area where the real estate
They're literally sitting in like an extra bedroom that's their podcast studio.
is more affordable. So we were able to buy a larger house to accommodate our growing family and our large family. But I think my fear is like, you know, I've read a lot of finance
They did a cut there.
books about like investments and all that stuff. And one of the first things you're told is like, your primary residence is not an investment. Which, like, obviously we've had these conversations.
Why not? Why not?
And stuff, but I guess like
I think they also own an Airbnb house too. So like they're sitting here complaining about this while owning multiple homes.
my fear just comes from this. Yeah, I just want our family to flourish, and I want all those things for our kids. But then I worry about doing it too soon, in case of there being, I don't know,
YouTube crashes.
a money issue or something.
He thinks that he's going to be canceled someday. That's what he's saying to you. He sees something's going to come out eventually or something, and he's going to be like, I understand it, but... Or you strike while the iron is hot. You have all this money that they made tons. He's looking at him like, what do you mean canceled? You strike while the iron's hot. I don't know if that's a good financial whatever, but would you not strike while when you have the money, invest it all now, and then you have all these things, and then if crap hits the fan, then you can liquidate if you do? I don't know. I need to speak to a money person.
I mean, I can't crack open our finances on the podcast.
Obviously.
This episode of...
Here's another ad. There's 2 ad reads on this podcast. I love she's like, I can't crack open our finances, and then they do an every read. They probably got them 5 to 10K.
Hear that we have a lot of the same goals and visions for the future.
And I appreciate you wanting to do things that are going to set our kids up for success. Like, I appreciate you looking into the school systems that are going to be good for them. I appreciate you knowing...
Why are you doing that, Matt? That's a better question. Why is it on her to do that? This should be financial decisions, children's education decisions, any decisions inside of a marriage shouldn't just be her going to research it all and then do it. I understand how marriages work, and there's sometimes a more analytical person and more person that's more like impulsive or compulsive or whatever. That's me. But I think our marriage works is like I present something to my wife. And I'm like, this is what I'd like to do. And then she becomes the person that's like, okay, well, let's look into the logistics of it all. Is it viable? Is it stupid? Is it this and that? And then I'll be like, okay, well, I'll present my arguments. And she'll be like, okay, well, did you think of this? And I'm like, I didn't think of that. You're right. What was it? This morning, it was like that. The argument was made. We were watching this this video of this speed runner or whatever, their speed walker who was like celebrating too early and then the other person passed her in her face. Was like, oh, she lost. And I said, why is this in the Olympics but pickleball's not in the Olympics? And I'm like upset about that. Like, why is skateboarding not in the Olympics? Why is there cool sports that aren't in the Olympics? And I was just like, I'm like, and my wife's just like, well, you gotta think, honey. You gotta think this way. Is it an international sport? Are there countries who play that so there's enough people that can come play pickleball? And I thought to myself, probably not. You're right. Same thing about skateboarding. Same thing about weird sports that like are weird but are really cool. Like, are they internationally played? Baseball, you got running, because even the poorest countries in the world who generally dominate in the running, I mean, running doesn't require a specialized anything. You just run, right? And so, or soccer. Soccer is one damn little ball and you just give her. Soccer is an international sport. International sports are generally something that's attainable. Even with hockey, it's surprisingly... I'm surprised hockey at that point is in there because hockey is such a northern sport. Like, how many people in the southern hemisphere have ever played hockey? Because like, it's obviously becoming more popular with the advancement of technology and be able to make ice and stuff wherever you want. But like, that's another thing, right? So she was right. All I'm trying to tell you guys right now is my wife's right. That's all you need to know.
Where the safest areas are for our kids to grow up in, because we want our kids to be safe. I don't want them to be in danger. I would love for them to just...
Is Arizona dangerous?
Go out and play at the park.
Like cactuses around, like you might get pricked.
With their friends, and us not to have to be there every second because we know that they'll be safe. So, I don't know, Then
you want to move to some... She looks like a Disney villain right here.
And
I appreciate that.
There's a lot of young families where I'm like, I want to just be around a lot of young families because that's who we'd be friends with. That's who our kids would be friends with. So...
You're not going to have any friends. You guys are a public couple. And any friends that will likely want to be around you won't want to be around you because they're like, I don't want to be in your video. I don't know, thanks. Like, I think it's really, really, really hard for family vloggers who can do, I'm not getting, they used to be, I don't think they are anymore, but people like this who put their entire lives on the internet have a really, really, really hard time making friends. Honestly, do that. And I know, like, for me, like, what about you, Josh? I wasn't on the internet my whole life. I've only been on the internet for 3.5 years. Before that, I was just a normal person. I'm still a normal person. I consider myself not famous at all. I don't think so, but I have no problem meeting people, but these people do. It's really evident because they lose friends like hand over fist. They always have beefs with people.
Kind of view our job, which is kind of like, this is, I guess, our job. I view social media kind of like how I think some athletes should view professional sports. It's like if you get a 2-year contract to play in the NHL or the NFL, a lot of these athletes get chewed up and spit out in like a year. And
are you comparing what you guys do to an athlete?
So you can make decent money for a year or two, and then you're out. And if you spend all that money,
yeah,
he's right. The money's gone, right? And
thanks, math guy.
So like,
if you have a bunch of money, right, and then you spend that bunch of money's gone, and then you have no bunch of money. Thanks, Confucius. This guy should write a book.
With the social media stuff, I just want to be smart with our investments, with our savings, because who knows? Like everything, TikTok could get.
I hate that. Like Matt sometimes says things that like I've been saying, and I completely agree with, because he's a bit of a douche, but he's got some important things to say.
Completely banned. We've been doing so many TikTok deals. Like, what if they just delete TikTok? Like, that's legit a threat.
Delete TikTok. You know why I want TikTok deleted? Because in it, I know people hate that I like Elon Musk, okay? But I like Elon Musk. And for the simple fact that I feel like Elon Musk is one of the most truest centrists that have ever existed. But if you look at the far left and people who like hate that I like Elon Musk, those people are so far left that Elon Musk is considered far right. And he's not. Elon Musk is absolutely centrist. One of the most recent decisions he made, which I don't agree with, on X, is that he left PRN up. And he's like, it's freedom of speech. If it's the art that you're making, it's the art. And it's a very, very, very unpopular thing amongst the people that support him generally, because he brought free speech to X, even though he is centrist, right? He made a centrist move, which made the conservatives love him and the lefties hate him so badly because they want to be able to stifle your speech. That's just the way it is. Generally, people have a problem with my centrist politics because I consider myself centrist, hate me because I always have the wrong politics, or like, I need to do the research. What they're saying is, do research that confirms my biases. That's what they're saying, right? Because my mind can be changed. The man versus bear thing is just one of the most recent examples. The pickleball thing in the Olympics, my wife changed my mind. And I can have moments of epiphanies where I'm like, you know what, you're right. And I will change my mind about that thing. Right? That's what a centrist generally does. Sometimes we're hard on certain things because we've done the research and we know, blah, blah, and will not be convinced otherwise because I think that's common sense. Centrists are full of common sense, which is why then when a common theme is presented to you and you're like, I didn't think of it that way, you start thinking that way, right? Where was I going? Elon Musk, okay? The reason that if TikTok gets deleted, and it will, and I can't wait, because apparently, someone said Doherty Dozen lost their TikTok badge? Is that true? Doherty Dozen they lost their blue badge. Why? Anyway, all I have to say, if TikTok is deleted, something is going to come into this place, and I hope it's Elon Musk saying something like, should I bring back Vine? Like buying Vine, because Vine was, I'm pretty sure musically, was TikTok before TikTok was TikTok, right? So if Elon Musk brings something back that's just like this and it takes over, it will be a free speech platform that will allow you to get the news that you want. Because everybody's really scared, TikTok's where I get my news. You can go get your news anywhere, right? YouTubers, shorts, Instagram shorts, there's people spouting the same stuff they're saying. A lot of times they create on TikTok and it's shared amongst all the platforms freely. So all I'm saying is that if Elon Musk gets his hands on a platform like TikTok that's like that, it's going to be good for all people involved. All of them. I'll be able to get on there and call these people out without being banned. That's going to be great. TikTok's bullcrap for that. And it's led to them being eliminated. Well, that's not the reason, but that's where I'm going with that. If you are so left that a centrist political ideology threatens you, you're way too left, by the way. And if you're so far right that a centrist one screws you over, then you're also way too right. Everybody come to the center. Let's start being adults, shall we?
we're recording this episode in advance. Who knows? By the time this episode comes out, maybe TikTok's gone, right?
Advertisers are still going to want to advertise on social media. It's not like we don't have a presence on other ones.
See, she's got her head on it right when she says something like that. Matt's like, well, TikTok goes, there's 400 major platforms that they make millions on, by the way. TikTok probably makes them the most for ad reads, but YouTube makes them the most for their views.
They're just going to move their funds to other platforms.
Yes, they will.
I don't know.
They will.
I mean, I totally appreciate you wanting to be wise with our money, and so I want to find a timeline that...
Her voice just got really weird. Like, I've been sort of ignoring it, but now it's back.
Is comfortable for both of us, but...
I think she needs to get her adenoids removed.
I'm hoping that you can compromise a little bit more on your timeline.
I think what scared me a little bit is at dinner... Was it last night?
Yeah.
That you said that you were eyeing moving in
the fall.
In the fall. May right now. The fall starts in like September. So that's literally 4 months. Which to me, I'm like, oh frick. Like that is not that far away.
Like she wants to move before the kids are in school, and I understand that you should.
Because I'm down to move at some point. I just know like we just bought this house.
Keep the house in.
It's
an investment.
Don't want to do anything dumb, like I'm not saying at all that like moving or buying a house right now is dumb.
That's exactly what you said, because that's what she heard. That's exactly what you said. I don't want to do something dumb, but that's not what I'm saying. That's what you said.
But like if you look at how much closing costs are on a house, it's ridiculous. Like the fees and expenses that you pay out to realtors.
You don't pay a fee to a realtor if you're buying a house. The seller does. Do you not know this? Also, I know I gotta piss a bunch of people off because I worked in real estate. I had my real estate license. My wife did, and some of our closest friends and family are realtors. So I say this without much respect. We don't need realtors anymore, folks. You don't need them. You don't need them. First of all, I can't believe AI hasn't replaced realtors up to this point, because you can ask AI anything about the local real estate law, and I'm surprised someone hasn't created an AI bot that is just a realtor. And like obviously for the place that you are, and you can ask it legal questions and you can make it like work, but all you need in real estate is a lawyer. You don't need, and you don't even need a lawyer really, but you should. Okay, you don't need a realtor. These people get paid so much money to do so little. It's actually astonishing. Okay, neighbors just sold their house. You know what the realtor does? They hire a photographer to come and take all the beautiful pictures and videos and drone shots. Okay, that's what I did. Then they post that. Then they like wait around. Maybe they'll do an open house, but often they won't even do the open house. They'll just give it to another realtor, like an up-and-comer or something like that, who will take it so they can monitor their house while they're there, sign in clients, and that's how they get their clients, right? So often they won't even do that. They'll hire stagers. They won't stage themselves. They don't lift a finger. They'll walk through and be like, okay, this looks good. Maybe. Okay? Realtors? Don't need them. Sorry, realtors out there. Don't need you. You literally don't need them anymore.
And all these different, like the title company and all these people, it's insane. Like the fees get really high, and so you're basically just throwing money.
You're not throwing money away. You're throwing it into an investment. I don't care what these books told you. Your home is your investment. If you buy a home, it's an investment. You have equity in your home. That's an investment. You can use your equity to make more Like, yes, it is an investment. Like, what kind of dumb... Like, this Matt. Renting is throwing money away, in my opinion. And for those of you who can't afford homes, I totally feel for you, because I was renting for the last 7.5 years, and I did the math on the amount of money I threw away. I mean, obviously, it's not wasted. There was a roof over my family's head, right? I understand that. But at the same time, there was no investment made. Like, there's nothing to show for it except for the fact that we didn't die in the cold. Which, I mean, that's a good thing, too.
Away.
I'm throwing my time away right now, driving so far to go places with our kids every single day.
You don't have a job, though. So, no one feels bad for you, Abby. You don't have a real job. You guys do YouTube for a living, social media. So if you have to drive during this, what else are you going to do? You have nothing to do. You're not a real person.
Yeah.
Like, and that's valuable, too. Like, I literally am constantly driving in the car with them. Which...
How far, like, so does she want to live... So it sounds like they want to move into like a gated community closer to amenities, because that's like the ideal situation would be, especially for your family, is to live in a plot of land somewhere that's not more than 15 minutes away from a Walmart or a Costco or a Home Depot or something like that would be amazing. I used to be like, if I'm nowhere near a theater, I don't want to live there. Nobody goes to the theater anymore, so it's good. Got to be close enough to get groceries. You don't have to drive 30 minutes to get groceries, okay? Distance to a hospital is important. Distance to a school is important too. And there's lots of places that exist like that. You do not need to be... I think what she wants is like the country club mom style lifestyle. And Matt's like, we make money, but I don't think we're there yet.
It's just like, I will continue to do it because I know that it's important for them to get out of the house and be...
Plus, those kids are just walking. One of them just started walking, and one of them is like not walking, so...
other kids and find good activities. And our kids go crazy inside the house. Like, they have to have an outing every single day. And so...
Put them outside! Is there not a playground around you?
I'll continue to do it, but I'm just, like, really excited for a day where I can drive 10 minutes and be somewhere and not, like, 40 minutes.
Where are you going every day? Chuck E. Cheese? What is it that you're doing? How do people all over the world with children survived at this point? What do we... Do you really not have a playground near your house? Get out of Arizona, first of all. If your nuts are sweating every day, why would you live in a state where your nuts sweat every day?
And I know that there's places closer to us, but yeah, there's just not a lot. And I think that anyone in this neighborhood would tell you the same thing. So, yeah, there's that.
Wow.
And I think that, like, we both...
Again, you didn't need to bring up these dumb arguments. All you had to say was, I want a great education for my children. Safe. Boom. The end.
Both understand each other, and that's what's important. I just know that I am so quick to compromise, and this is something that's, like, really important to me, actually. So I'm like, I hope that we can find a middle ground sooner than, like, 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
I think from my perspective, since you found the neighborhood and the house that we live in, it initially came as a shock to me when you were like, now I want to move, because...
Well, Matt.
It initially came as a shock. That's not what he's like, what do you mean, lady? We just got here.
Like I've explained to you, when we moved here, we were moving from out of state. We were about to have a baby. I had like an urge to be settled and get things done because I wanted to have a place to bring our baby home to. And
did you not before? Were you sleeping in a tent or something? What do you mean? A place to bring your baby home to? What do you mean? I can understand Matt's frustration. I'd be like, we did have that.
And we were in a studio apartment downtown. I was like, that kind of pushes our timeline. And also, I think this neighborhood was perfect for us at that point.
So, what I'm hearing is that Abby's more like me than I thought, but that's what I'm hearing. She's like, this was perfect at the time. So when you move again, Matt's probably going to be like, well, I know that in 2 years you're going to say that's not perfect for us. Because if she's saying it now, then what's changed her mind when they move to another place and another place, and he just doesn't want to move.
This was perfect for us. But since then, we've had 2 babies, invited my parents into our house, and what?
Whose fault is that?
Like, so many other career changes have also happened.
What?
So
have they?
I think that...
What career changes have happened?
Like, while it was great for that period of time, and it's like, while 2 years doesn't seem... It's been over 2 years. While it doesn't seem like a long time to live in the house, like, big life circumstances considered, it's really not as crazy as, like, it sounds.
I just thought of a really good analogy to describe our situation. Is it okay if I tell it to you?
Okay.
Because you make more money than me, Abby, it's almost as if, like, let's pretend...
How does she make more money than him? They're on social media together. Oh, her platform is larger than his? Is that what it is?
And you had some distant relative that, like, passed, and they were, like, loaded, and then, like, they gave their money to their descendants, and then you ended up, like, getting a solid chunk of money. I feel like that's kind of the situation that we fell into with the social media. So it's like, could we go and buy a house right now? Yes. But would that be the best use of that money for our family? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that.
Yes. A home is probably the best use of money for your family. Yes.
For you, yes.
Yes. It is the best. What did you do? Well, you know, I could have taken that money and made an album. Like, what do you mean? What else are you going to do? What's more important than a good family or a good home for your family? What's more important than that? What? That's a stupid question.
And then me over here, the financial planner, finance major, almost major, I dropped out of college before I could finish my degree.
Yeah.
But
she's like, yeah, so shut up.
I'm like, hey, let's put that money and invest it so that it can grow, you know, compound interest and do all that good stuff over time. And you're in your mommy era. You're in your mommy era. So I feel like you're just kind of like, I want to spend my money how I want.
That's, yeah. I'm like, if I'm going to spend it at any point in my
These people made enough money they can buy the house and invest. So I don't know what they're talking about.
life, I want to do it when my kids are young, since we have an opportunity to.
But then, like, the finance guy in me is like,
I understand.
the earlier that you invest your money, the more time it has to grow. And it's like the snowball effect where
Time
money...
in the market beats timing the market.
That's right. Did I teach you that?
Taught me so many things.
That's so good,
I don't know what that means.
babe. But yeah, it's like the snowball effect where it just compounds and compounds.
Time in the market beats timing the market. Makes sense, though, if you think about it. So if you start investing now, instead of people who got lucky investing in or learning the timing of a market and then like investing in shortfalls or whatever it is, short-term investing. I understand that. That makes sense. He got that from a professor, though.
Compound.
He didn't make that up.
And I'm pretty sure it's like your money is just like working for you in the market, and that's why
we do both. We
and
get the
that's why-
house and we invest.
Yes, that's what I said.
But what if we can't do both?
You can do both.
I don't think we're...
They don't want to tell you how much money they make, and they really want to really try so hard to avoid talking about money, but they have lots of money, and they don't want you to know that. They want you to be like, well, they're just normal middle class. Like, no, you're not. All you guys do is travel. You don't have real jobs. No, you don't. Just embrace it. We're rich AF. Just embrace it. Stop lying to people.
I don't think we need to do that, because I'm not going to get the most expensive house we can possibly get.
And that scares me too, because
Yeah.
I feel like as you get older, your tastes,
It's really not about...
He's telling you the truth. What he meant to say was, as you get older, you're going to want to change every time, like we're doing right now. And that's what you just say it. If you can't be honest with your spouse, who can you be honest with?
The way... I want the house to look nice, of course, but it's really not about that. It's more about, like, the function of the house.
Which, like, for me, when you said that you wanted to move in the fall, that kind of scared the frick out of me, to be honest. Because, let's say we move in 2 to 3 years. So Griffin is, 3 or 4, okay? And then Augie would be 2 or 3. They're not going to remember this house. If we move in 2 to 3 years, they're not going to remember this place. I moved when I was 4. I barely remember, like, the first house. Barely. I remember that my Uncle Bob broke his toe in our basement.
Okay,
playing
Abby wants to
soccer.
move in 4157.
It just get because
Matt, we already agreed before filming this that we would be moving before...
He's trying to convince her on the podcast so he can be like, look, you have to be nice in front of public people.
The kids are, like, really in school. So why are you going back and trying to make this house, like, something that'll work for that?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, better be sorry.
Yeah. Do you have anything
She's like, we already agreed on this, so let's stop.
else you want to say about the house stuff, or should we move on?
No, I think I said my piece.
Okay.
I feel like we have not reached resolution.
No, they have not.
We definitely have not reached resolution. How do we...
But she said they already agreed on it.
I thought we had. Like, I was like, in the next couple years.
But then you said the fall yesterday. and I
But do
was
you
like,
understand that within
whoa.
the next couple years means, like, the fall would be a part of that?
Oh, see, I thought when you said the next couple of years, it was like, okay, 2 years from now, we're going to move.
Like, you said when would be the minimum last night, and I said the fall, and you were, like, pitching a fit.
Well, because you...
People are so dumb. At least they're on. You know what? As much as everybody hates Matt and Abby, like, this is a real marriage. I'm sorry. Like, he is totally, like, a little bit beyond when it comes to, like, the selfishness. But in the end, like, everybody's like, super red flag. I don't think, like, Matt, like, beats her. And, like, there's nothing. I think it's just, like, it's selfishness and immaturity, which they can likely grow out of. But that's, like... If your marriage isn't normal like that, like, and I'm not talking about like the crying hissy fits over Father's Day, but like stuff like that, you pitched a fit when I said something. That's normal.
And I said the maximum would be 2 years from now.
Well, because you went and looked at houses.
Just to get, and I think that we're...
There's nothing wrong. It's like if you're looking for, if you've agreed that you're gonna move, whether or not it's in 4 months or 2 years, start looking, because you might find the deal of a lifetime within 2 years. If you've got a 2 year span of looking for something, you might find like the time like when my wife and I were looking, it took us a year to find this place because we were looking for the right place. And like we weren't going to settle. None of that was going to happen. And then it just happened. It found like the dream place, which isn't a dream place because if I actually make some real money, I am building a replica of the McAllister house. It's happening.
Where it's like... we're not going to move unless we find the perfect house, because we have very specific criteria.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I need to be on the lookout, know what's out there, know what price it's going for, know what neighborhoods I want to be in. So of course I'm going to start looking
Yeah. I just know that you are a very fast decision maker, and so if you found a house
And
next
aren't you
week...
thankful for that? Because I decided to marry you
Burn.
very quickly.
I suck at making quick decisions, so I am thankful for that.
But that's a compatible couple, I'm telling you. You need someone who's like more thoughtful and like, okay, I like where you're going with this, but let's look at it this way. Okay? Where she is the opposite. Opposites attract. These people, they attract each other because it's you need that. If both of you are spendthrifts, if both of you are not going to spend a penny, I think the only way it works really, really well is if a couple is either very, very, very both frugal, then you're going to be fine. Because if you're both spendthrifts, you're not going to be fine. Okay? Or opposites, so that you can do the best of both worlds. Because sometimes I'll push my wife into things where she normally never would have made those decisions or done that thing, and she's glad that she did because I pushed her into doing it. And I'm glad when there's restraint on some things, because I'm like, I'll look back at it a couple weeks later, or some purchase I wanted to make, or a year later. I'm like, man, I am so glad I didn't make that purchase. I'm so glad. And you need the balance, man. You need the balance.
That. The one area where it is a little freaky is buying a house.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, I got a house.
This was the only house.
I've been only thinking about this for a long time.
Here's the thing.
She's like, let's get on to the next subject.
We went to go look at engagement rings. Very first engagement ring you saw. Boom.
Are you going to hold that against me? Also, why?
First of all, why are you looking at engagement rings with her? Are you not supposed to make it a surprise? Like, I never understood this. I know I'm going to get some flack for this because women are like, the engagement ring is really important. And Kira is obviously an example of this. He bought her the most garbage engagement ring, and I understand that. But like, if you love your wife and you want to propose, you want to make it special, sometimes you don't have the money for it anyway. And that's what the 10-year anniversary is for, to get her the actual ring that she really wants. But hear me out. If you're going to if you're going to propose and you're asking the dad's permission, all that kind of stuff, you're doing it traditionally, why would you take her shopping for the ring? At that point, just be like, yeah, we're getting married. Like, where's the surprise and romance in that? Sad. It's actually kind of sad.
Why are we doing a whole podcast with a pair of your socks?
Oh, I forgot that my socks were right there.
Put them on then, Grossy.
Been without my socks this whole entire episode. I should.
We know.
My socks.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yes,
No.
you did.
Why would I do that on purpose?
That's something you do so people
Yeah, we know.
would comment about your feet.
That sounds so weird. And
true.
no, I would not do that.
You are
Yes, you would. And she just called you up for it.
So weird. If I was trying to do a funny joke, maybe.
I don't know.
You're not funny, though. You guys aren't funny.
This conversation about houses is boring me now.
It's
Because she's like not getting her way.
is it freaking you out? Maybe we should
No,
save.
it's not freaking me
We
out.
could save it for therapy. We could talk about.
Okay, I don't know where your therapy. Okay, let's get on to this big one. 5231. This is when they start talking about this is the big viral moment.
I need to go to the barber again.
Yeah, I think it's looking good. I want you to grow it out.
I need to.
Grow it out. You have male pattern baldness. Welcome to this club, bro. You can't grow it out. It makes it worse. I'm about in my Jason Statham era, I think. I'm going to shave it and just live with it. It's all gone. Look at it. It's just time to shave it. Looks good, I think, shaved. I'm going to get down to a 2 or a 1.5 and just give her. I'm doing it today. Doing it today.
Touched up before the wedding.
Yeah, well, so does Griffin.
I'm liking it a lot more. I'm realizing that.
Plus, haircuts are like, damn, man. I could still get fades though if I do it. If I shave it like as a 1.5 on top, I could still get the guys to do the fades because I like the fades. Right, the fades are good.
Short, like really short hair, not really my thing.
My barber is very good and very expensive. I took my son and I to get a haircut the other day. Both got fades. It was $100. I'm like, you got to tip well because they're really good barbers. It was over $100 for 2 haircuts. It's like, but it's so relaxing the way they do like the hot, like shaving cream and the hot towels, and like they take their time. Like it takes over an hour if you do a beard trim and haircut. It's like the spa day, and I will literally be in that chair like, and that's what they're used to. It's awesome.
Really?
If you've never had a hot shave, do yourself a favor, okay? Get one.
Yeah,
I thought you were loving it.
I mean, kind of. I don't know. I look at the photos of me from right when I did it, and I'm like, ew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you, and I think that you look really handsome. So many different ways. You can pull off a lot of different things.
That is
Some things you can't though.
really nice.
I do prefer
Thank
your
you.
hair a little more grown out. I like it really short on the sides, but long on the top.
I think that's what I'm
Do you want to be like broccoli head teenager?
realizing.
Hawaii, and I think you need to use some texture spray.
And I
Because you
think
had
that-
texture in Hawaii, but like not here because it's
That's because the salt air.
dry.
That's true. The dryness here is not the
You
best.
need a
for my
sea
hair.
salt spray.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does work.
I should do that. And then going to the barber is clutch. Like, I've
Clutch. It's a guy.
never I went to
Clutch.
the barber for the very first time a month ago, and it
What?
did wonders for my hair.
What do you mean for the very... Who's been cutting your hair since then? What do you mean you went to the... What?
Yeah.
So we've decided as a family that we are not celebrating Father's Day this year.
Idiots.
It's so sad. I'm so disappointed.
Not celebrating it on Father's Day.
This is so stupid.
But
In September.
Wait, what date is Father's Day this year?
Father's Day, it's always in June, and it's like
Last
always
year
around.
was June 18th, which is Matt's birthday. So
Yes.
Oh my God, you're gonna be okay. Are you serious? You're the dad, and it's your birthday. So what you do? Like again, this is another thing with Father's Day. It's just like it's one of those holidays you could probably get rid of. Do you know what I mean? Because even like I get it. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I'm like for the most part, dads are just like I don't need a tie. I don't need underwear. I just a day maybe to just. I don't know. I don't even need a day. Like it's not, when women are on Mother's Day, like I just don't want my kids here. I want to go out and have a spa day, and I understand that. I get it. But dads aren't even like that. They're just like, you know what? I just like to have a time to sit around with the kids and play some board games or go for a swim or do some kind of activity that I want to do or like do something fun. Like I just feel like it's a holiday that's like, I don't need gifts, that's for sure. So Matt's just being a baby.
Father's Day and his birthday on the same day. And
So sad.
I will say I am disappointed in myself, but I did kind of combine the holidays.
So what? It's still celebrating him regardless. So what, did you want a cake for Father's Day and a cake for your birthday or something? Like, relax, buddy. Again, it's just a cake. What are you looking for gifts? What do you do? Who cares?
You did combine the two of them. It's okay though. I mean, you were
It's not okay. It's not like it's okay to him.
pregnant.
And you can tell her she's saying, she's like, you guys aren't hearing this, but he was upset about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking about it like this.
You were uncomfortable. You were
We
close.
just gotten back from our baby moon that
Yeah.
day.
So it
Like
kind
we
of like
flew in from Mexico that day.
Well, we
So
kind
I
of
was like,
Are you hearing this conversation? So they're upset that his birthday lands on Father's Day last year. Like, okay. And then they just flew in from a Mexican vacation the day before from a baby moon. And this guy is complaining about the most stupid bullshit.
kind of celebrated it on the baby
we
moon.
kind of skipped it, kind of, because we
I
did.
got you a cake from DQ
I guess we had
and
just
had
gotten
our
home.
family over
Can he say something though?
and grilled.
I think I grilled. Well, I grilled, but I know a lot.
Who cares? That's what the man's job is, to grill. So what are you saying? You shouldn't have to grill on your birthday? No, that's when you should be grilling. We're going to grill the things that I want to grill. Okay? Weird stuff. Burn ends and things that you might not like generally all the time. We're grilling the grill.
Dad's grill.
The grill is a privilege. Okay? It's not a right. And it is an honor. You butthole. You're setting back men's rights 150 years.
On their birthday, so it's whatever. But yeah, we had
And
Father's
I grew
Day.
your child
You did grow my child,
all day.
That's important.
Every day.
but like Father's Day, my birthday
I'll give you that. She did do that for you.
were the same exact day,
yeah,
and it kind of was a bummer because it was like those are
Were you honestly just moping around because your birthday and Father's Day on the same day? Both days which celebrate you, by the way. Are you kidding me right now? I can see why people are pissed about this. Are you serious? Both days are about this butthole. And he's like, but I wanted to separate day. Shut up. Are you serious? You're making us look bad, dude. Take this guy's man card. He's a loser. He's not us dudes. I see why you damn choosing the bear.
it's all right. Like there's a lot going on. So, but this year Father's Day is on the 16th of June.
which is still
Imagine being in the woods and like you find this is the guy, you chose the man, and this guy comes on, complains about like celebrations for him. I'd be like, okay, like where's the bear?
only 2 days before your birthday. So we
Exactly.
talked about it, and we think it's best if Matt.
I mean, maybe you ran into a friendly bear, right? And you just became friends. You went foraging for berries together. You snuggled at night when it got cold because the bear's all furry. He's got the cute little ears. There are other nuances to this argument that I did miss. I do agree.
celebrates Father's Day in September.
And then what if the bear was like your friend and then he was your protector? Jeez, it'd be cool to have a bear friend, would it not?
Yeah, so we're boycotting
September 18th.
Show you where the honey is?
Father's Day for the month of June and celebrating it 3 months after my birthday.
Yeah, we're gonna make a big hoopla about it.
Why 3 months? Why not the next week then? It's so stupid.
Nothing goes on. It's
What do you mean you're going to celebrate 3 months after? Like, what Why don't you celebrate your birthday 3 months after? Father's Day is a day. Like, you go to Home Depot, probably 20% off or whatever, right? You can't be like 3 months down the road and your friends are calling, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're celebrating Father's Day. It's freaking September, bro. Yeah, that's what we just said. Okay, you're dumb. We don't like you anymore. We're not friends. Bye.
September. Like,
that's what's going to happen.
I guess September is kind of the month of pumpkin spice, where everyone's like, let's go get pumpkin spice lattes. So now we're going to add in Father's Day.
Man, Christmas is coming. Alexa, how many days till Christmas?
Christmas is in 199 days on Wednesday, December 20th.
Oh, let's go! 199 days!
Yeah, September needed new holidays anyway.
Yeah. Maybe we could...
September has... It's back to school. It's Labor Day.
And September happens to be the month that you want to go buy a new house.
We'll celebrate by buying Daddy a new house.
Matt's like, no, we're not. It's not funny. Why do you guys think that's funny? Like, they're over laughing about this. It's not that funny of a joke.
Call you Daddy again? That's funny.
Yeah, don't call him Daddy.
That's kind of hot. I mean,
no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Feel free to if you want.
You're kidding.
What?
You're one of those?
I don't know.
What is that?
I kind of liked it.
No, not if you have kids. If your wife calls you Daddy, I don't know if that's gonna... I don't know if I like that either.
I call you Hot Mama.
That's different.
Like,
You're a mama?
It's different. The cultural thing isn't like, hey, mama. It just doesn't work the same way as the daddy sexual thing. It's just different. It's different. It's different.
Better than like mommy.
I
Just
think-
like dad.
The mama. I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? I'm trying to think what I do. What do I do?
Yeah, sounds
that's
better
true.
than daddy.
I don't call you mommy. I feel like that would be
Yeah,
weird
it's weird.
to call you mommy.
It is.
That reminds-
Stop saying it.
Yeah,
It's like saying panties.
Daddy's
Don't stop
just
saying
worse,
it.
though.
Daddy, yeah. I don't know. I mean, that can be. It could be.
He's telling you right now, Abby, if you're listening, that he wants you to call him daddy. Just so you're aware, if you're not picking that up.
kind of.
He's telling you he wants it, but he was like gauging it to see what you'd say, and you're like, he's like, yeah, no, I totally hate it too.
Or into that stuff. Like, it could be kind of fun, depending on the setting.
Save it
See, he's trying to tell you what he wants.
for private settings.
Yeah, for
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
private settings.
Not like on this public podcast.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm going to leave this in. Okay,
Timber.
that's it. All right, good enough. We got to the point. It's decent. Like, the more I watch about these two, the less I hate them. I don't know if that's weird. Like, I think that they are, like, Matt obviously says a bunch of really stupid shit, but not everybody's really upset with Matt on that podcast, and I'm generally always Team Abby most part when it comes to Matt and Abby, because I do see her as like a normal. But that was a little bit overblown. They were both to blame for that. Both to blame, for sure, on that one. Because all she had to say was like, shut your pie hole and relax. Okay, you're being celebrated in both ways. Like, you're sad you get one less celebration because it lands on your birthday. And it doesn't even land. Alexa, when is Father's Day this year?
On Sunday, June 16th.
Okay, it's Father's Day, then it's his birthday 2 days later. So they didn't even have to talk about this. Could have had his Father's Day and his birthday. They're just being a bunch of buttholes. But they went viral for that moment. I don't know if it's for good reason. I think it was silly. They're just dumb and nobody likes them. But and don't also let them trick you into thinking that they're poor, because I promise you they can easily keep the house that they're in and buy others, because they do have others already. And all they do is travel and everything else. They're rich. Okay, don't listen to them. It seems quite odd though that Matt's always like, and I say the same kind of thing. We're sitting in the same. This could be all gone tomorrow. YouTube is a flash in the pan for a lot of people, and so it could all be gone. So I don't know. Interesting take. They're a bunch of weirdos though, right? Everybody, take a deep breath. I have to shovel rocks now. This freaking concrete pad in my backyard is the bane of my existence. I'm getting pissed. It wasn't supposed to be this way. It was supposed to be easy. I was supposed to put up a gazebo. Put a little thing up and the kids go swimming. We're under a gazebo. There's a shade. There's no mosquitoes. Let's turn it into crazy town. I have to go shovel 2 yards of stone. Do you know what 2 yards of stone weighs? Alexa, how much does 2 yards of clear stone weigh?
Here's something I found on the web. According to sizes.com, the weight of a cubic yard of crushed stone varies from 2,300 to 3,000 pounds, the average weight being about 2,500 pounds.
I'm about to go lift 5,000 pounds of stone by myself with wheelbarrows. Because I'm an idiot. And every project I take on is always triple the cost and quadruple the work. It's okay. It's a nice day out today. I don't mind putting a little bit of work in. You know what I mean? Get a little tan. Work on the lats a little bit. So get the wheelbarrow. It's good. If you want to look big, get big shoulders and big lats. That's how you do it. Don't worry about your arms. Worry about your lats. Lats make you look good. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being amazing. You are incredible. You are valuable. I hope your summer is off to a good start and you're having a good time. Go camping. Have some fun. Go fishing. Go canoeing. Do lots of fun things. Let your kids have a great summer, okay? And I hope that you have a great summer too. I will see you when I see you.